Tempo matching audio inside of Pro Tools. Many times when you're working inside of a project, you'd like to bring in loops that are at a different tempo than your current session. We're going to show you how to do that in Pro Tools. I've got a session set up here already. It's at 100 beats per minute, and I have an 8-bar drum loop. All right, well, what I've done is I've gone out to my sample libraries and I found a synth part that I like, and I've imported into Pro Tools. It's here in my audio regions list, and I can audition that by holding down Option or Alt key. I think that's going to work great in here, but you can probably hear that it's a little bit too fast for the tempo of the track I'm on, and you can really see that when I visually drag it out here into the Pro Tools timeline. This is also an 8-measure loop of the synth track, and you can see it's much shorter than the drums. That's because it's happening at a faster tempo. So how do I make these two pieces of audio match? It's pretty easy to do in Pro Tools. First, I'm going to go into grid mode up here. My edit mode's at the top left of the screen. And I'm going to put myself into 1-bar grids. And you can find that here in the middle up at the top of the timeline. What will happen now is Pro Tools will constrain all of my edits and movements to single bars. To perform this move, what I'm going to do is choose the Time, Compression, and Expansion trim tool up in my tool menu. Visually here in the timeline, I'm going to stretch out the synth part. You can see it snapping to the grid of bars. That's because I'm in grid mode selected to bars. And when I let go, Pro Tools does a time expansion. It's now going to make the synth part be exactly the same length as the drums, but it's done this without changing the pitch. Here's what it sounds like. I'm going to mix back in the drums. Worked great. That's how easy it is to do tempo matching. Now, if you don't have the latest version of Pro Tools, if you're working with an older version, you can also do this same work. It just takes a little bit more effort. What you do is go to the Audio Suite menu and choose Time, Compression, and Expansion. The plugin appears, and all you need to know is the destination length of the piece of audio you're working with. Well, you can get that pretty easily from the drum track. It happens to be 19.2 seconds in this case. If I highlight the synth and type in 19.2 seconds and then hit Process, Pro Tools will do the same time expansion move for me and give me the same result. So that's tempo matching inside of Pro Tools. Very easy to do, especially if you have the visual time compression and expansion tool.